Good afternoon to our families, friends, and the Greenwood community. On behalf of the Greenwood School, I extend a warm welcome and thank you for being part of this two-day celebration. We are delighted to be hosting today's awards assembly and on Saturday morning, tomorrow, Greenwood's 44th commencement exercise. You have traveled short and long distances by various modes of transportation and sit among us today so that we can all recognize and applaud these boys who have achieved and conquered what they might have considered unachievable just a few months ago. Faculty, department heads, and leaders recognize students in the academic, support, and athletic areas during our Monday Spring Awards luncheon. They use descriptors such as confidence, focus, unwavering, steadfast. Still, it was the descriptor perseverance that resonated the cleanest and clearest. At the end of the year, we tend to recall the moments marked by a significant experience, a moment of great challenge, such as a mountain bike championship race, or a sense of accomplishment when learning to throw clay pots on the wheel, or when standing on stage presenting the Gettysburg Address, or the completion of the collaborative Heron and art mask piece that is hanging in the great room, which I hope everyone saw when you went up to get coffee and dessert. These are significant moments indeed. However, not all the moments need to deliver that ultimate wow. They don't all need to be that big to be significant. It is often those steady and simple Greenwood moments that have shaped your son into the person he is today. The responsibility of taking down or putting up the dining room chairs every morning and afternoon, being present and on time for school commitments, delivering phones and computers to the tech closet at the end of each day, listening and being respectful of a classmate during an SEL class when they are sharing a different opinion than your own, or being willing to ride in the backseat of a van on a school trip because you know a fellow student is more comfortable riding up front, or learning how to live among 40 other boys in one space from September to May, while continuing to find your independence. Whether speaking about the wow moments or those steady and simple moments, we recognize that each has made a difference and has shaped your son. When engaging with families, current or prospective, I often raise my arms and hands in this way to signify how our adult community supports and wraps their arms around your children. In outdoor education, groups often end their day or week experience by joining in what is known as a trust fall activity. What happens is an individual steps to the center of a circle and the folks or the people in their group stand around them. And that individual in the center takes their arms and crosses them against their chest, and keeping their knees straight, trusts enough to fall backwards into the arms of the people around the circle whose hands are up like this, holding them tight. I mention the above as a metaphor focused on the adults in our community who are also nearby and always there to trust and support. Their hands are raised and ready to catch your sons when they need a change of direction, a word of encouragement, or a reminder about school values. It is not uncommon for an advisor or support person to arrive at the dorm on a non-duty night to check in on an advisee, or offer to chaperone yet another ski or trampoline trip, or stay later in the afternoon to give feedback on the college application process, or drive, yet again, to, students fill in, to McDonald's, because we know that DoorDash hasn't made its way to Putney, Vermont yet. While we would not be the community we are without your sons, we definitely would not be the community we are without the dedication and love and care of the faculty and staff. So now, let's move forward with the focus of this afternoon, which is our awards ceremony. Each spring, the faculty gather and identify a student or two that they have a personal relationship with to present that student or students their book award. The book award may speak to a student's academic journey or their particular passion or a lighthearted moment that the faculty member and student shared together during the year. One thing is for sure, the books are chosen for each student are done with heart and soul. Faculty take time to consider what book speaks to each recipient. And while the story shared when the books are presented may be lighthearted and humorous, the words resonate from their heart. To the students, listen carefully to the words written about you and those of your friends. They will make you smile. They will bring back great memories. Parents, please enjoy the story shared, the intimate and well-crafted thoughts to sum up your son's Greenwood year. When the book awards are complete, we will continue with our underclass awards. These awards represent the extraordinary talent of our students and all those who have played a role in supporting their growth. Everyone in this place, under this tent today, possesses qualities that make you unique and wonderful. Our students deserve recognition for who they are and their accomplishments at Greenwood. So before we start the book awards, let's give these guys, these students, these boys, a round of applause. All right, now let's begin the 2023 Book Awards for our middle school students and students in the 9th, 10th, and 11th grades. We will present the Senior Book Awards tomorrow during graduation. Looks like Cheryl Alexander has made her way to the stage. And Cheryl will start, and then at the end, Nate Williams will bring in the last book award, and then we'll jump to major awards. Thanks, Cheryl.
Good morning, or good afternoon, everybody. I think I saw Gavin come in. Where's Gavin? Where's Gavin? I don't see him, but I know he's out there somewhere. So Gavin, you know that we've spent a lot of time talking about idioms this spring, and so I'm starting with one. Gavin, I think that you are as cool as a cucumber. There he is. I think you're as cool as a cucumber, and here are some reasons why. You're an artist. A fantastic artist, and often his art is really humorous and done well and done quickly. I love his art. He is a filmmaker, set designer, prop builder, and an actor, the whole enchilada. Did you get that one? You should ask him to share some of the movies and work he's done. I know that he likes to eat healthy, and he's made a point of doing that this year, but he also likes eating crunchy snacks like Takis and drinking caffeinated drinks, and he definitely does not like gummy worms. He's a very snappy dresser, puts a lot of time and effort into what he's wearing for the day. And finally, one of his favorite authors is Stephen King. So I'm gonna wrap up with a Stephen King quote. You can, you should, and if you're brave enough to start, you will.
So this book award is going to go to Raymond. This book is for a guy who likes to take things apart and try to figure out how to put them back together. Maybe not always in the way they were or the way that we imagine they should be, but the point is always learning what you can while taking something apart to see what it's made of. I imagine if you were to take Raymond apart, you'd find out he's made of a massive love of dogs, even the tiniest ones on campus who bark a little bit too much, a brilliant competitive mind for strategy games, and a piercing laugh you can hear anywhere on campus. Raymond, this book's for you, dude.
Hello. Okay, so the recipient of this book award is intelligent, kind, and funny. He's always positive and never fails to put a smile on my face. He has grown so much since the young boy I met during his interview back in May of 2019. I always look forward to our text communication, which consists of meow, followed by meow, and then meow. Gordon Lau, you are really something special. I loved watching you grow over these past 4 years. It's been an honor. Come on up to the stage, right meow.
Hi, everyone. Dog whisperer, baby's best friend, limitless energy, wide-ranging athlete, hot chocolate connoisseur, flipping fanatic, bear-crawling expert, Keurig K-Cup flipping master. These are just some of the things that come to mind when I think of this student. He's finishing up his first year here at Greenwood, and what a powerful year he's had. From being very quiet on day one, unsure about how he was going to fit in here, to being the boisterous ball of fun we know today. Jordan, I hope you have an amazing summer, and I can't wait to see you return next year, and I'm excited to see what new talents you gain over the summer.
This middle schooler is also finishing his first year here at Greenwood. He came to us very quiet, very reserved, a man of few words. Avery, congratulations on finishing your 6th grade year. He's come into his own and he's testing new boundaries. Now you can find him after morning circle in the middle of a large group. You can find him on his bike as a member of the mountain biking team. He's chasing down gnarly tracks and sending it over jumps. You can find him on skis, either on the mountain or here jumping jumps that he built or helped build. That's where you can find Avery. I can find him every morning, 4 days a week, in my class at 8:30 a.m., a little sleepy and still a man of few words, which for that I'm very grateful. Avery is well-liked by his peers. He's an athlete, he's a valuable member of our community, and he's intelligent and coachable. Avery, this book's for you.
Howdy. Let's see. So I'm just going to call Moses up first. I'd like them to be here. This year's been full of wins for Moses. Academic awards in language and literacy, English, creative awards in art and music, and a Gettysburg Gold Medal. should illustrate his efforts, understandably for the community and his parents, but also to him, and be a well-deserved source of pride. His struggle and victory over stage fright have been a shining example for other students, and I'm confident that the experience will continue to guide him and others for years. A particularly impressive win is his song, Is This the Way?, written for the Greenwood Band, which will perform at graduation tomorrow. I'm eagerly looking forward to many years of growth in music with this guy. Congratulations, Moses. Have a fun and creative summer.
This student has come such a long way in the 3 years that I have known him, from when he first got here, sending multiple emails and texts saying, "Can you come pick me up, please, Mom?" Well, giggling, laughing, smiling, and snuggling my giant golden doodle, reassuring them that no, in fact, he was having a wonderful time. I think he just missed them. To now he is everyone's favorite car fanatic. Hi, Lex. And now is very interested in pursuing a career in firefighting. So I have 2 books here for you that talk about the lessons learned that can not only be applied to firefighting, but also to life by 2 people that worked in the New York Fire Department. All right.
Good afternoon. I have 2 book awards that I would like to give. The first one is for Rory. Will you please come up? Okay. I just want to say every accomplishment starts with a decision to try. And change only happens when you work through challenges. And when you make mistakes, that is proof that you're trying. Rory, you've been brave and daring beyond the shadow of the doubt this year. And I'm so excited to see how you'll be able to grow in the coming years. Rory loves historical fiction, so I have 2 books for him about historical fiction. Make sure I have the right ones over here. All right. Thank you, Rory. I'll never forget the first time that Parker and I worked together on the Gettysburg Address. How many times, Parker, get up here. How many times did you tell me, I can't memorize? I can't, too many times. And I have to admit that one of the greatest joys as a teacher in my whole teaching career was to prove you wrong. And for him to say, you know, Hallie, you're right. I love it, okay? All right. Not only can you memorize a speech, but you also memorized 2 alternative speeches flawlessly, which is amazing. So Parker, I have 2 hockey quotes for you, because you know that Parker is a hockey fanatic. Austin Matthews, okay? You're going to have ups and downs, and what you have to do is work with much harder. You have to work much harder and push through the tough parts. And I have another one from Wayne Gretzky. You miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. So Parker, keep pushing through. You got this. You're amazing.
Okay. So my award is for a determined, hardworking, athletic, dog-loving, scuba diving, snowboarding, Gettysburg speech master, Ben Starkman. Okay. So, Ben, you have really impressed me and others with the hard work, determination, and resiliency that we all witnessed you put into your time at Greenwood. With this kind of grit and relentless effort, you performed amazing speeches, strengthened your muscles, learned to scuba dive, improved your speech, your language, your writing, your reading, your vocabulary, your friendship skills, and your self-awareness. It's a lot. I got you 3 books, which is only fitting for someone who has done so much.
Good afternoon, everyone. I have 2 book awards to provide today. First one I'd like to provide is for Lucian Smith. Can you make your way up here, Lucian? Buddy. This person is a thoughtful, creative, and critical thinking genius. He's an engineer, an electrician, and a computer programming wizard. His name is Lucian Smith. It's been a pleasure to have you in the STEAM Lab this year, Lucian. You have inspired me to explore new projects and design creative lessons. Your kindness and ambitiousness is intoxicating. I look forward to future years, many future years, alongside you in the STEAM Lab. So I got you a couple books here to enjoy through the summer. Congratulations. This is an acrostic poem for this student. See if you could identify who this is for. This person is an alpine skier to his core. He is unified and committed to his friends and family. He is silly, silly, silly. He's a trail mountain biker. Ice cream, anything chocolate is a must. And he never missed an opportunity on the pottery wheel. This next book goes to my advisee, Austin. There's that. Austin, I have read this book from Aldo Leopold, Sand County Almanac, a number of times over, and every time I read it, I find another piece of magic, advice, and perspective. This has served me well in my life, and I find it fitting that I provide this to you as you're journeying forward. I hope it will serve you well as it has me. And I will say that, Austin, you are a learner, you are a listener, and you are an altogether rock star. And it's been an absolute pleasure working with you this year, and I wish you the very best moving forward. Thank you.
Forgive me, this is about to get a little geeky. This award is for a Goliath barbarian who lives on a mountain and traveled with a group of other adventurers, but mostly traveled by himself, faced an entire goblin horde all by himself, and nearly solved the puzzle of the Nilbog. This student is the only student who regularly came to D&D nights when I was on duty on the weekends. And so I got him his very own D&D book to tell his own stories. This is for you, Clyde.
Okay, this is a Hunter Thompson quote. Hunter Thompson once said, "Life should not be a journey with the intention of arriving safely in a pretty well-preserved body, but rather to skid in broadside in a cloud of smoke, thoroughly used up, totally worn out, and loudly proclaiming, 'Wow, what a ride.'" When Smith first came to Greenwood, he may have approached this journey with caution, coming to Greenwood. As the year wore on, he became less cautious and more willing and daring to participate in academic and physical activities. Smith, this book is about adventures. Have a good summer, and we'll see you in the fall.
Okay. Hello. So, when I originally set out to write this book award speech for James Allen Queen, I intended to talk about how great he is. I wanted to mention his kindness, his ability to engage in every assignment, his willingness to help others, and just the general joy I get when he is in my class. However, just a few days ago, I overheard James Allen talking about a business venture that he created while in Ted's economics class. It was for storage. He mentioned he wanted to name his business Queen Storage, storage fit for royalty. I know, it's good. My mind was blown, and I knew then and there that I needed to pivot with this speech. James Allen, I originally intended to give you a book about art and creativity, and you will still receive that book. However, after your masterful display of business and marketing acumen, I am giving you a new book entitled Tycoons and the Making of the American Economy. It's good. Because you, James Allen, are on your way to being a tycoon in any venture you embark on. Come on up.
Thanks, guys. Gotta click on my glasses there, right? Pretty fancy. Guy with executive functioning issues, you don't lose them. So, one fun aspect of my job is the opportunity of meeting all these kids before they get here. So last March, I took a trip down to Boston and had the opportunity to meet Henry Ritchie at his house. Henry, his father, and I had a great visit, and Henry let me know his main goal in coming to boarding school is to become more independent. Henry, congratulations. I'd say you'd certainly achieved your goal. Not always the easiest ride, but through a lot of hard work, support from your teachers and friends, you did it, and I applaud your perseverance. I know next year will be easier for you, and you will be one of several boys helping the new students settle into Greenwood. Keep up the good work. And Henry, I'm presenting you the book, Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, and it's all small stuff, to just keep in mind that don't let the big things get too, or the small things get too big. All right? So come on up and get your book. And the next book award I have is for Quinn. So last winter, a mutual friend of mine in the East called me up with an unsolicited recommendation for Quinn. He raved on and on for a good 10 minutes and ended his praise by saying, "Take Quinn fishing and you have a friend for life." Fast forward to September. Quinn is now a member of the Greenwood community, and within the first week, I receive a photo from Nate Williams of Quinn holding a big bass he caught out of Watt Pond. I honestly didn't realize there were fish in there until I saw that photo. His fishing prowess came as advertised, but we all quickly learned Quinn was much more than a talented angler. Quinn is a loyal friend, a dependable community member, and a willing participant in just about any activity offered, and an emerging leader. Most importantly, a dedicated student with a drive to succeed. I will also add a talented eater of sushi. That was about the extent of my fishing trips with Quinn. Quinn, I wish you the best of success, and please enjoy this book, Trout and Illustrated History, by James Prozac. Come on up.
So this book is for Wyatt. Come on up. When Wyatt first got here 6 years ago, he was so quiet. I remember he actually seemed kind of bewildered, like, what in the world is this place? I'm not sure I want to stay here. Now he's getting ready for his senior year. He is this place. He epitomizes Greenwood. He has moved from self-doubt to solid confidence, from not talking to anyone to being friendly with everyone, from looking up to the older guys to being one of the most looked up to guys on campus. Wyatt has an extraordinary wisdom. I had him in a two-person class this year and wrote down most of what he said. He has a wisdom about human nature and a deep kindness that is breathtaking to watch. I'd like to say he should be our Greenwood poster child, but Greenwood did not do this. He did. Hot damn, Wyatt, you inspire us all. Okay, this is for Liam Wallace. Come on up, Liam. So here's the word I think of when I think of Liam: balance. He's an expert mountain biker and snowboarder, so clearly he's got a good fix on balance. He does break things once in a while. We call his mother and say, "Hi, Carolyn," and he goes to the hospital and he's fine, But balance is important to him. Same thing in class and socially. He balances out the sometimes extreme views of his friends. He reins people in when they get too rowdy. He isn't afraid to think deeply and then to courageously express a very balanced and fair-minded view. I, for one, know that this will pay off for him over and over again in his life. Just keep being you, Liam.
I'm afraid to tell you how many books I have to give, as you might just decide to get up and take a bathroom break right now, but please don't do that. So my first person is Zach Shapiro. Could Zach come up? So Zach, as you may know, is my advisee. This year I decided to break tradition and give a book to one of my advisees. And I'm not sure why I did that, but I can say this, that Zach, we all know there's kind of two Zachs, right? There's a Zach who's like really good at sports trivia and like knows everything about sports in like New Jersey, right? Like his old life. And then there's the Zach that's the Vermonter who does things that we don't always know he does, like, you know, babysits faculty kids, takes them on nature walks. Like, he's a great guy. And And I thought maybe I would try to do something in terms of my books that represented those two parts of Zach. So I couldn't get the sports encyclopedia. He's shown me over and over again he's unbelievable at finding facts online, so I thought that would be a waste of time. But I did find him a book that offers a lot of life advice, and it's kind of wrapped in a basketball story. At the time, the author wrote the book. He was a New Yorker, so it's perfect, right? So Phil Jackson's Sacred Hoops is for you, along with a book about the more challenging hikes you can take with kids in Vermont. Could I have Bodie come up, please? Hi, Bodie. So I'm not sure you're aware of this, but not every day at Greenwood is as beautiful and lighthearted as today, right? There's some days that it's kind of rainy out, it's kind of cold, you're not really sure, you want to go to your next block, right? We all have had those moments. I was having a day like that this year, early in the spring, and all of a sudden the great room filled with piano music, and I was like, wow, that's really great. Like, I am so excited someone can play the piano here. I'm just going to go out and sit and listen to this person, whoever it is. And it was Bodie. He was playing the piano kind of just spontaneously, and I took it in, and I thought, man, I really appreciate that new student. This is great. So I wanted to say how much I appreciate you, Bodie, as a new member of the community. And so I got you a book. Let's see if I can find the title here. It's in my notes somewhere. Oh, yeah. It's called Music Habits, The Mental Game of Electronic Music Production, Finish Songs Fast, Beat Procrastination, and Find Your Creative Flow. Now, I don't know if Bodie is interested in writing music, but boy, he should, because he really brought the right message to me on that day. Thank you. All right, last one, but not the least, certainly, Jack Shaw. Could you come up? So, Jack has really inspired me this year when he kind of took my history class and really just got better and better and better as the year went on. He just got more and more interested and more kind of aware of all the other kids in the class and like what would make class work and what types of comments, what types of work. So he's really done a nice job. So I started thinking about giving Jack a book, and then I realized I really don't know that much about Jack. So what am I going to get him? And as I thought about it, I realized that he really he's impressed with people who have done amazing things in history, right? Like those heroic types. Every once in a while, someone will come up and we'll talk about it in class, and he seems to always jump into those discussions. So I got a book, not knowing him extremely well, but at the same time starting to know Jack. I got him a book about American heroes. But as I was reading the book, I was like, wow, there's a lot of guys in this book and not a lot of girls. And if you get to know Jack well, one thing about Jack you'll know is that he's a pretty sweet guy. He doesn't want to admit it, but he's a sweet guy. See? Anyways, he is. He's a sweet guy, and I thought, man, there has to be a woman's influence here in some of this writing, right? So I got him 2 books. The other book is a book called Badass Women of U.S. History, and so I hope you appreciate this.
So I have one book award to give today. I had the pleasure of having this student in my class this year, and this was the first time that I was able to teach him. So I started to get to know him. He started out quiet, reserved, and perpetually late. Quickly, he started to show up early, super focused, enjoying and really into class discussions. And throughout the year, as he explored, he found his personal drive in the world of finances. CJ, I hope you continue to dream big, set goals, and explore all of your passions. It has been a privilege to teach you this year.
So I have 2 awards to give out today. One is for a student who is finishing up his 3rd year here at Greenwood. He'll be a senior next year, which means, of course, that he's going to be starting to think about what may come next. He has already identified a possible career interest and plans to begin to explore a few colleges this summer. I hope these books will help guide and inform him about entering the career he has already expressed an interest in. Now, this could be a few different people, right? Who is the only one on campus who has slid down that hill in the middle of winter in a giraffe costume? Are we going to see that giraffe next year? Yeah, okay. Don't ever get rid of it. I want to see it coming down that hill again. My other book award is also for a high school student who is completing his 1st year here at Greenwood. And I waited until the end for Campos to really show who it was by giving the hint of the giraffe. But it's going to totally give it away who this student is when I say that he is Greenwood's resident expert on stop motion filming. He has impressed faculty and students alike with his meticulous creations and has even started an evening club to share his expertise and have fun creating with like-minded friends. Cam, there, right. I hope this book will help bring your filmmaking to new levels. Thank you.
Hello. When Bea was up here giving her award to Clyde, she talked a little bit about D&D. Any other D&D fans in the audience? Not many. I didn't know much about this myself. But evidently, there's a group of people, you tell a story, you go on a quest, you fight monsters, and then you make some daring rescues. When Lee came to us a couple years ago, he was on a quest on his own quest. And his deadly monster he was fighting every day was math. And he told me in his very polite and gentle way, no thank you, I don't do math. Don't do the math. And through the years, he has learned to trust himself and his teachers. And even though he starts class every day with the same mantra, and that is, oh man, Schmidt, I cannot do this. You leave each day saying, that wasn't so bad. And so my hope for you, this is a book about the monsters in D&D, that you continue to fight those monsters in life, because I know you'll always win.
Okay. Whew. I have 2 awards, and you may not think that these 2 boys are similar, but they are. And that's one of the things about Greenwood is that you come at first and you may think, oh, there is no one here like me. This is going to be awful. But most do. They find their tribe. They find their friends. They find those that I think many will be lifelong friends. So Not to say that these two might become friends, but they do have some similarities, but who knows? Okay. So they're among the two of my best talkers, which is hard to surpass at Greenwood. Lots of talkers, talkers, talkers. Always something to say, always something to say. But they are both excellent storytellers, and they are both very sensitive, which is a gift. Can I have Nick and Julian come up?
Oh, hardest part about being almost last, right, Nate? The anticipation is overwhelming, and the surprise is underwhelming. There's not many people left. All right, Bella. So I got to know Bella this year through her work in the wood shop and her treks to the pottery studio through the wood shop. She enters most days greeting me with, Jesse? Bella is not one to sit aimlessly in class. Even when she's laying on the floor or flat out on the countertop, she's calling me to discuss the next steps in her project or the next plan for what she's going to be doing in class. She's pushed through a number of projects this year, which she excitedly comes in with and has a general knack for creating things, I would say. Jocelyn, would you agree? She concurs. So, Bella, an important tool for any artist is the journal, right? And it's a place for you to write your ideas, draw your thoughts, and otherwise contain all of your creative juices. So this book, which I got for you, is full of awesome ideas to make your journals explode. Give it a minute. Josh, you're next. All right, so Josh seems to have two primary passions, from those of you that may know him. The first one is hockey. Standing around, perhaps. It's number 3. I was going to say hockey and history, but standing around, perhaps. So I'm going to focus on the first one. No, the second one. You're confusing me. I'm going to focus on history. All right, so Josh comes into the wood shop once or twice a week and will often prefer, instead of creating a project, to create interesting conversation. This is how I learned that Josh loves history. He comes in pretty regularly, and I've got this book on the Rwandan genocide that sits on my desk, and it's kind of an autobiography about the Canadian dude, exactly. And Josh regularly, he'll come in and he'll just sit for the whole class and flip through and read this book. It's pretty incredible. It's not a light read by any guess, but it's brought about really awesome conversation. So, to supplement his interest in heavy history, I've chosen 2 of my other favorite books. A People's History of the United States by Howard Zinn, and A Different Mirror by Ronald Takaki.
Afternoon. Growth. The process of developing or maturing physically, emotionally, or spiritually. As an advisor, it's part of my job to track a student's growth. At times, this growth is very obvious for all to see, and sometimes it's more inconspicuous, requiring a much deeper dive. Well, Garrett Haskell, you've definitely grown this year. I see it, your mother sees it, and the teachers see it. I'm so happy you found Greenwood. Congratulations on completing your first year. I'm very proud of you.
Let's give another round of applause for all of our boys. At this time in the program, we will introduce and present our major awards for the students in grades 6 through 11. I would ask that if you are a recipient of one of these awards, that when you come up to receive it, that you pause with the presenter. So whoever's presenting the award, pause with them so our photographer, Justin, can get a perfect photograph of the event. So will you welcome Dave Hodson to the stage?
I'm here to present the Admissions Award. The Admissions Award is presented to the student who supports the interview process, and the families consistently comment on this individual's dedication and commitment as a Greenwood student. This is always a tough award to give out, as all the student ambassadors do such a great job, showing prospective student what it's like to be a Greenwood student. However, this year's recipient has grown tremendously as a tour guide over the past 2 years. Last year, when I approached him to do tours, he said he was not quite ready. By the spring, he gained a bit more confidence and gave a couple tours. After that, he would stop by my office on a daily basis and ask, "Got any tours for me, Dave?" I almost thought he was a plant from the board or something the board was working with just to get a sense of the numbers. This fall, he picked up right where he left off. He would come in for a daily visit. Zach is that type of guy. I think he's in 5 places at one time. And just be like, "Hey, where are my tours, Dave? When's my next tour? What's my next tour going to be?" Zach is a great ambassador of Greenwood School, has become comfortable talking with students, parents, educational consultants, and it's been a pleasure, fun to watch his growth. However, it's come at a price. I once bought Zach and other tour guides some cider donuts to thank them for their work. Now, every time Zach does a tour, my mistake giving him my phone number, I get a text at night, "Dave, don't forget my donuts tomorrow." All right, Zach. So, Zach, I appreciate your hard work. You please come up and get your award. Can you hold this for a second, Sways? And Zach, so I don't forget, a couple cider donuts to put in the bowl for you.
Oh my God. All right, so I will be presenting the Garrett Sprunger Award, but before I do, I want to talk briefly about the summer reading program. There is a well-known saying that circulates among the community of reading specialists and language therapists. Reading is rocket science. We are not programmed to read, but we are programmed for oral language, which creates an interesting dilemma. And I can't begin to stress the importance for our students to read each day to help strengthen their reading skills. For our returning students, families were given packets containing summer reading information. There should be a letter and a calendar. In these packets, you might find a book and you may not. Some of your students, some of your children had requested that they don't want a hard copy. They just want to use the either Learning Ally or the Bookshare app. Also, in the letter, you'll find a username and password for the Learning Ally and Bookshare accounts. So my plea is also parents, please join with your sons and create a discussion around the books that they're reading this summer. And our topic is going to be on empathy. Thank you. All right, so going on to the Garrett Sprunger Award. So the Garrett Sprunger Award today will be presented to a high school student who read or listened to the most books and was judged by the overall number of pages read or listened to during the year. And this year's high school recipient is Zach Shapiro, who read well over 2,000 pages. Okay.
The Creative Arts Award for Music is given to a student who's risen to an exemplary level of instrumental proficiency and has proven themselves as a leader in a musical group setting. As a gifted songwriter, singer, engineer, and instrumentalist on guitar, drums, and keyboard, the student has impressed and influenced many fellow students and faculty over his year and change at Greenwood. His knowledge of music theory and instrumental ability continue to catch up with his naturally adept and envy-inducing hearing skills and creativity. He's learning to be an appropriate and productive leader in a band setting. As a 7th grader, leadership interactions with typically emotional and proudful musicians can be a rich SEL challenge that the student is learning in stride. I look forward to many future rehearsals, compositions, performances, and healthy problem solving with this guy. Congratulations, Moses.
You guys might not know Supervisor Greg. He's been very influential in the wood shop this year as my intern. Here, you want this? You wanna hold this? Yeah, I got you. Hold that. You hold that. All right. So, the description for the Creative Arts in Woodshop Award states that the recipient has demonstrated an overall achievement in the wood arts. The recipient this year has certainly done that. Avery. So, in his first year here at Greenwood, Avery has become a bit of a fixture in the shop. Teachers will often come in search of him, and likewise, he comes to the shop in between his classes, during breaks, after school, during his lunch, during my lunch, during his other classes. You get it. To chip away at a component of a project to find out what, or find out what his next class is, or to just chat through a creative idea. Avery's cubby is literally spilling onto the floor with his creative endeavors. He's shown no fear in stepping up to any activity with any material or tool he feels may help him achieve his vision. It is because of this drive to create that he's demonstrated achievement within the wood arts. We're gonna pause for a photo. Are you ready? Handshake. Look that way. Smile.
I found the thing.
Okay, now I'll just kind of walk off and walk back on.
Who's next? Jess, you're back.
All right, we're back.
Okay.
We're back on. Okay, Jesse. Hold that first. Okay. All right. So, the Experiential Award is presented to a student who during their years at Greenwood has shown interest in pursuing a hands-on approach to education, both in their Greenwood coursework and through off-campus internships. There you are. All right, so Wyatt. This year, Wyatt has spent several hours each day going back and forth to the Career Center in Brattleboro, learning a trade. He's learning how to become an electrician, right? And so that's included. It's towards becoming a journeyman electrician, which is cool. So he's had to study National Electric Code, learn how to wire outlets, wire lighting, right? Service panels, and probably a lot more. Would you say? Yeah, he'd say. All right. All right, so because of this and taking steps towards directing his future, right, he's earned the Experiential Award.
Bear with me a second. I have the honor to present the Science and Technology Award. This award is presented to a student who shows curiosity and aptitude in the fields of science, technology, engineering, and/or math. The award is especially geared towards a student who tackles independent projects in the field. This year, the recipient is Gordon. Gordon, can you make your way up here, please? Gordon, you have inspired many to explore the sciences through your years here at Greenwood School, whether it was through your 3D printing projects, computer programming, and your electronic repair. You've been here now at Greenwood for 4 years, and every year you explore new territories. You have grown not only in size over this time, literally he was this tall when he started here, but also in your critical thinking and your investigative exploration. We will miss you and you wish you only the best in your journey forward. Congratulations.
Where's Jesse? What do we do here, Jesse? We'll get it. There we go.
Okay. The next award is the Bruce Stevenson Leadership Award. This award was established in 2019 to commemorate a revered academic leader here in the Greenwood community by recognizing a potential leader in the student body. As a beloved academic leader, Bruce was a dedicated educator who tirelessly encouraged young men to persevere honorably and purposefully into manhood. He was an avid storyteller with tremendous intellectual acumen who promoted and recognized leadership in every boy at Greenwood. And this year's recipient joins a growing list of influential and formidable leaders in our community. He joins the ranks of John Merritt, Jack Morgan, Justin Gershman, and Chris Lehman. We expect big things from this next school leader, Parker Gorman.
I will be presenting the Middle School Recognition Award, and I am going to turn and look at you guys. This award is presented to a middle school student who shows leadership, dedication to their schoolwork, friendships, and community. One word to describe this young man: perseverance. He fell, he got back up. He broke himself, he got back up. He broke himself again. He got back up. He came in this year as a brand new student, not super trusting and really quiet. And it did not take him long to realize that he had found his place and he had found his boys, and it is not you. I adore you, but I gave this award last year. So, it is with great honor and pride that I give this year's award to Rory Jordan Coates.
Wow. Yeah. Exactly. All right. We are close. Before we close our afternoon ceremony, we need to announce the winner of the green and gold competition. Throughout the year, hang tight, hang tight. Throughout the year, the green and gold teams have squared off in various competitions: pickleball, winter carnival, trivia night, Dunkin' Day, hot wing challenge, and the elusive thingamabob. Now, I have to tell you this little story. We had a thingamabob. It was orange or gold on one side, woo, and green on the other. And it was hidden, thank you, it was hidden, and Jack Morgan found it. Sorry, Jack. Jack Colton found it. And on his way to deliver it back to me to tell me he had found it, he decided to take another mountain bike ride in the woods, which meant that the thingamabob that we did have fell out of his pocket in his sweatshirt. So Jack Colton, being Jack Colton, went to the wood shop and made this one, which is spectacular. I better keep this up here. I don't know how to do this. Okay, so we have the totals. Long into the night, early this morning, computers and calculators out. Adding up. I can tell you the Dunkin' Day totals from yesterday. Do it. The Dunkin' Day totals for yesterday: green, 43. It was hard. Gold, 76. But remember that this competition began back in September. The final totals are, you ready? Gold, 32,396. Green, 35,925. So, green team. So, green team, we've come back from last year. Last year the gold, this year the green. We will hang the green flag in the dining room, and we will start the competition again in the fall. Well done, gold, and well done, green. All right. A reminder, Following this event, which is almost at its closing mark, we were invited to Green Mountain Orchard a few miles up the road for a reception, end-of-year reception. The reception is a tradition of our graduating weekend. It will be one of the final opportunities to engage with other parents and share stories about your family's Greenwood experience. Jocelyn Aruda, Nate Moody, Annie Quest, Ezra Vetch, and Jesse Wampler have worked with our talented students for a better part of the spring term to prepare beautiful handcrafted items for the silent auction. This will also be an opportunity, as I mentioned earlier, to view Our Boys, which is a video about our seniors. So please, please join us. It starts about 4 o'clock at Green Mountain Orchard. So in closing, parents, thank you for your unwavering support and belief in Greenwood. You have been partners with us every step of the way. We have learned and will continue to learn so much from your son. Let's give the parents applause. Faculty and staff, thank you for your willingness to always do a little bit more in the classroom, as afternoon and weekend leaders, and supporting the residential life program. Every day you join your colleagues focusing on bringing change into students' lives. You are truly a remarkable faculty. Let's give them a round of applause. And the reason why we're all here, students. To our students, you are the reason we are celebrating you this weekend, Friday today and Saturday tomorrow. Thank you for being your best selves, circling up each morning, stepping toward the challenge and opening up your hearts and mind as creative, dynamic, and curious learners. You are a gift. Thank you, students. And finally, tomorrow we will acknowledge and applaud our middle school and high school graduates as we present certificates, diplomas, and senior awards. Please join the students and faculty here under the tent at 10 a.m. to congratulate their efforts and success. We are going to call this a wrap of the day. Congratulations, everybody. We'll see you at the orchard.